everybody, and welcome back to another video. Now, as you can see, I'm out and about. I've actually got some kind of control over my camera work in the car. I'm heading over to Newcastle to get some more things for my book, for my DVDs storage. I'm going to get some more bookcases, so hopefully I won't end up spending too much with a bit of luck, fingers crossed. But I've not posted anything in a while because I haven't really been so well, so I've not really had the energy to record anything or to put anything up onto the channel, which I'm quite disappointed about. But you know, if you're not well, you're not well. There's not an awful lot you can do about that. So yeah, it's been a fairly dodgy week in terms of that, to be honest. So yeah, I did actually have an option of going to a flea market as well, just quite local. It's only about maybe 20 something miles away or something like that. But I've opted to go to Newcastle to get this stuff because the day isn't particularly too clever. It's a bit overcast. There's a few spots of rain here and there. So I thought if I do this now, then at least I'm one step closer to being able to show you guys exactly how everything looks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this all ready to show you guys as well. So yeah. It's roughly about an hour and a half to 2 hour trip to Newcastle from here. There's not really much what you would call freeway. It's more sort of air roads, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be a nice trip. I won't be able to document any of the travelling as such because I don't have a secondary camera in here. A secondary camera set up in here. I do have my dash cam. So eventually I'll be able to get that sorted out. All I need for that is an SD card, but I can't seem to find the right one in particular for it. So we'll just have to wait until then, until I can actually do some proper recording of what is actually beyond the windscreen. So yeah, so I'm going to call it at this for the moment, everyone, and I'll come back in another part of this, so we will see you soon. So while I'm actually recording this, I think I might as well just have a little quick chat about some of the stuff that I've actually seen recently and some of the stuff that I'm looking forward to seeing. So I went to see Rampage about maybe, it will be last week. Today's a Sunday, so I went to see it last week, and it was an alright movie. You know, I mean, it comes pretty typical for a Dwayne Johnson movie these days, where it's like the Invincible Man, where you can't really kill him. It's one of those things. You know, I mean, a few people out there like Flippick and Chris Stuckman have spoken about this in their reviews on the movie, and it is pretty much what you would kind of expect nowadays from a blockbuster movie. But as said, this is a video game adaptation. Not the best one, but it is one of the better ones that we've had in recent times. You do get to see the creatures demolish a city in the final act of the film, and that's what everybody was looking forward to. But as said, like I say, by the likes of Chris and also John, it drags out just a little bit too much. It's dry in some areas. The character development isn't exactly up to par. I don't want to repeat what other people have said, other than the fact that it is a reasonably enjoyable film. it is something that you can actually switch your brain off to, which is one of the good things about this. Which is one of the good things about the film, to be really honest with you. So I can't really say much more about Rampage because everything else has been pretty much covered by everybody else that does the reviews. I've just seen a random boot on a roundabout there. Wow, that is a bit random. Just one single boot. So yeah, I've seen. So that's Rampage, and I think it was the week before or 2 weeks before that I went to see. What was it? What did I go and see beforehand? Ready Player One, which I thought was amazing. I really did. I thought it was amazing. A great throwback to some of the 80s and 90s movies that have been out there, especially onto the video games as well, with the likes of spoiler alert, Halo, the DC Universe, Marvel, and all of the other big franchise games that's been out there, like Resident Evil, all that sort of thing. They're all in there. But again, as other reviewers have said, without that nostalgia there, you don't have a movie. You just don't. I mean, the character development is okay. It's not really the best, but it is a thoroughly enjoyable film for what it is. The actual story itself is fairly sound. It's just an enjoyable movie. I'm trying to think of any negatives that I've covered, but I think the only negative really about the film is that without all of the nostalgia, you really don't have any kind of film at all. It doesn't really drag out neither. It's reasonably well paced. It does draw you in. I actually saw the movie twice. I think I've mentioned this in previous videos that I've done. I saw it in the regular 2D version, and then I went back for the 3D version of it as well. And the 3D version was actually really cool. Not the best 3D visuals that I've seen since Transformers: Age of Extinction. But good enough, you know. So those are the last two films that I've seen. I can't really remember which other ones I've seen before that, but I think I'll just talk about those two, based on the fact that they're the most recent ones that I've seen in the last month or so. Getting on to the releases. We're getting on to the releases that aren't up and coming. Next week we have, I think it's next week that the UK gets it. We've got Avengers Infinity War Part 1, which I am so looking forward to. I've been looking forward to this for such a long time, ever since the reveal of Thanos in at the end of, oh god, I can't remember which one it was now. There's been quite a few references to, but there has been a few references to Thanos in the MCU in the post-credit scenes. But when he made his debut in Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought this is going to be great, and they actually chose really well with Josh Brolin for this. I think he's absolutely perfect for the role. He's got one of those demeanors about him. There's just something about him in his expressions and everything that really pull Thanos off really well. So I'm really looking forward to see what he actually does with the character in terms of his acting abilities. I rate Josh Brolin very highly. I think he's done some really great stuff in his career, A lot of them, a few of them have been questionable, like Jonah Hex, but I enjoyed that film. And then you had W, or W as a lot of people know it as, where they portrayed George Bush Jr. That was a fairly decent movie. Whether or not a lot of the stuff that was documented in there was right or not, I don't know. I don't know much about the guy anyway, so you know, I only based my thoughts on that on how I rated everybody who performed in there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Avengers: Infinity War. It's what everybody has been looking forward to for since 2008, since the first Iron Man came out. But yeah, with regards to those post-credit scenes, it wasn't something that was supposed to carry on. It was something that wasn't really supposed to be carried on. You know, little teasers into the next movies. Like, it was only done as like a little joke thing, and it just turned into something that everybody looks forward to seeing. What's coming up in the next film, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, Avengers: Infinity War is one that I'm definitely looking forward to. I couldn't get the release date for it off, unfortunately. I did ask for it. It did go onto the calendar, but unfortunately, due to us being short-staffed at work, I couldn't really get it. So I'm having to wait now until Sunday next week until I can go and see it. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. I really am. And then we've got, after that, I believe the next one after Avengers is, I think it's Deadpool 2, which is another film I'm really looking forward to, with Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson. I have seen part of a trailer for it, and it looks really cool. I like the idea that him and his girlfriend are still sort of together, even though Wade has gone through this horrible transformation with what happened in the first movie, leaving him severely disfigured and everything. I think it's really cool, and really fitting for today's society, where people are more accepted, where people with sort of like disfigurements and disabilities are more accepted. I think it's a really nice. I think it's a really nice touch that they've thrown this in. But yeah, that's another one I'm looking forward to. So yeah, so I'm going to leave it at this one, guys. So I'm going to come back again in maybe another part. So we'll catch you in a bit. So everybody, I've arrived at my destination. As you can see, I'm at the IKEA. So it's about 2 hours drive away from where I am. So we're going to head on in there and see what's in, and hopefully I'll find what I'm looking for. Right guys, I'm finished here and done my shopping. As you can see down there, I've had a bit of a field day, so we're going to get all this packed up and we are going to get away home. Next up, bookcase number 1. This isn't going to fit. Seats down. Seat down. Right guys, so I'm going to turn that down a little bit too loud maybe there. So as you can see behind me, I've got all the gear. So now on this this has turned out an absolute gorgeous day. I wish I'd stayed back through in the lakes, because like I said, I could have gone to that flea market if the weather was going to be like this. But as it stands, I'm happy enough with what I've done. The buys are good. I've got two bookshelves. I've got two more bookshelves now, so I'll be able to replace that odd one that's there. I'll just I'll see if anybody at work wants to use it anywhere. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool for them. So we're going to head on back now, and we'll get these things assembled and up. So see you soon. So just before I left IKEA, I thought I would try something. It didn't quite work out. I wanted to try and see if my phone could reach over the dashboard, over onto the windscreen, so I can give you a front view of what is actually in front of me, because it's very rarely we get really good weather like this where I actually am in the lakes. I mean, obviously I'm not in the lakes at the moment. I'm actually in the northeast now. I'm sort of like heading back towards the Lake District now. But we only get this kind of weather around about this time of the year, from the end of April roughly until about the start, right, to mid-July. It's the only real time we get any kind of decent weather here. So I kind of like to try and get out in those particular times, because it's the only like I say, it's the only decent weather we really get. So you'll probably see a few more out and about videos with me. I will be doing a few more walks, so you'll get to see a bit more of the lakes. Hopefully if the weather's good. I'll never do anything like that in rain. It's just horrible. It's the worst thing ever, like doing it in bad weather. You don't know what conditions they're going to be on over the tops or anything like that. So yeah, so I'm hoping in the next month or so I'll be able to document my entire drives from different camera angles. You just have to wait and see how that goes. But I'm planning on getting, I am actually planning on getting not a low maintenance pet, but I'm planning on getting a pet, just a little one, a little small one. I'm not going to reveal what it is just yet, because I need to get everything organised for it. So you have to keep an eye out in future videos for a nice little surprise, guys. So yeah, and just in case you're wondering, because I'll probably put links into the description box below. If you wonder what music I'm listening to, this is actually a Finnish band called Lordi. I think I might have mentioned these guys before. What I'll do, I'll put a link in the description box to their channel, and you can have a listen, see what you think. They're really, really cool. The one, for those people who don't know who they are, like I said, they're a band from Finland, from Europe, and they won a song contest. It'll be 12 years ago now. Back in 2006, the only real hard rock band ever to win it, and they carry a really cool gimmick with them. The members of the band, they all dress up as ghouls and monsters, and like the substance of the music is really cool. It's very theatrical. They do a lot of, and it's kind of based on like horror, that sort of thing, and they take their inspiration from the likes of Twisted Sister, Alice Cooper, and all of the other old school bands from like the 70s and the 80s, and it does actually show in a few of their albums. I have got my favourites. I'll speak about them in a future video because they are one of my favourite rock bands out there. I feel very underrated as well. They don't really get the recognition they deserve. I saw them this time last year in Newcastle, and I thought they were brilliant. I really did. So yeah, I'll leave it with this, guys, and then we'll get back. And then in the next segment of this, we'll be back at the hotel.
Okay guys, now as you can see, I'm back at the hotel now, and as you can also see in the background here, I'm under construction of this bookcase, which isn't actually going too bad. It's not, they're not really that they're not that difficult to put together with them, you know, flat pack and IKEA jobs. They're really cool. They're really cool. But yeah, I wanted to go a bit more in depth about something that I spoke about in the car on the way back, and that was the band Lordi that I had on in the background. Now I did have it on a little bit loud, so maybe I'll do this just to sort of like stop the video from being taken down off YouTube for the copyright purposes. And I'm actually going to go into them for you. I have all of their studio albums here, so I'm going to go through these. The first one I've got is Get Heavy, which was their debut album. They had the first hit, Would You Love a Monster Man. A really good album, like I said, as you can see from the if it can zoom in there, let me see, just I've got that, might be of some help. There you go. There you can see those are the characters, but they have changed. The characters have changed over the years. So yeah, that's Get Heavy. Next we have The Monsterican Dream, which has a couple of songs from the debut album on it as well, and other songs which had the first really big hit, Blood Red Sandman, on it, and it is a really cool song. Again, another great album, very much a similar sort of style as Get Heavy as well, so we'll look forward to that. Now the next one was the album that really catapulted them into main stardom with the song Hard Rock Hallelujah, which I spoke about I didn't speak about the song, but I spoke about the Eurovision Song Contest that they won in 2006. Hard Rock Hallelujah was the song that won them. That was the song that won them the Eurovisions, and that is off the album The Apocalypse, which really catapulted them into into the stardom that they have, the stardom that they have today. But like I said, they're well received, but they deserve better, if you see where I'm coming from. So yeah, that's the Apocalypse, everybody. It's not my favourite album, but it is definitely up there in my top 3 out of the ones that I've got. The next one I have, the album Dead Ache, which this one is my favourite album. This one is my favourite album of them all. It's really quite diverse in the styles of rock that they put out in this one. It's not like the rest of them that had like a specific theme set to them. This one really did have an impact on me as a fan of rock music. So yeah, if you can, really try and source this out and give it a good listen to. I think it is on the YouTube channel, so yeah, I would check that out. It's really cool. The next one is I'll give this one a quick flash because it's quite a brutal one. That is called Babes for Breakfast, which is this one kind of actually went into a themed album, which was more sort of like based on like the sort of like late 80s style synth rock that came out at the time, like from the likes of like it's very much oh goodness me, I'm not comfortable here. I'm just not comfortable at all. Just give me a second, guys. I'll be back with my bean bag. I'm not going to be editing much out of this. Oh, so there we go. Right, that's a bit better. Right, Babes for Breakfast. Very much inspired from Twisted Sister and all that sort of thing, and Motley Crue and those sort of and those bands of like the late 80s going through into the early 90s. Another really good album. It's kind of in a quiet taste, this one. I have got a couple of favourites on this album, such as Rock Police and Disco Evil as well, which is the following track after Rock Police. So yeah, that's Babes for Breakfast, everyone. The next album is To Beast or Not to Beast. Now this one actually marked the turn of one of the characters in this. One of the original characters from like the last 3 albums was called Hella, and no, I've got that wrong. It wasn't Hella. Oh, Hella was the new character. Oh dear. Oh hell's teeth. I'm going to have to check up on this. I'm a big fan of these guys, and I don't know why I've just got these up mixed up. What where are we? Lady Awa. I should say Lady Awa. The only reason why I got that wrong is because Hella came on board at the turn of To Beast or Not to Beast, and she's done another 2 albums from that, which I'm going to go into next. But Lady Awa retired from the band, unfortunately. She decided that enough was enough. You know, she had her turn, and you know it was time to move on to bigger and better things. God bless her. She was great. She was the keyboardist of the band. So Hella came in and actually made quite a big impact on them in To Beast and Not to Beast. It gave them a nice sort of edge to their stuff, and they also brought in another drummer who replaced Otis, who sadly passed away shortly after Babes for Breakfast, which was a real shame, really, because the guy would, you don't know the people behind the masks. They keep themselves very much to themselves, the people actually behind the masks. They don't like to reveal their true identities because they don't really want all of they don't want the publicity around them all the time. You know, they only want to do, they even do the studio work in all of their suits and makeup, believe it or not. From what I've heard from interviews and all that sort of thing, they will not reveal their true identities at all. So good luck if you want to try, if anybody out there wants to try. So the next one I have is excuse me, I've got a bit of a sweat on here. I've not got my window open, that's probably why. It is quite warm in here actually. I think the radiator's on. No, it isn't. Must just be me. The next one I've got is hold on, I've got this mixed up. Have I got this mixed up? Yes, I think I have actually. What? 2013. There's another one somewhere, isn't there? Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I'm sure I am up to date. I'm sure I am. I am up to date. Yeah. So this was 2013. That was 2014. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that was the next one. The next studio album after To Beast or Not to Beast was Scare Force 1, which had quite a lot of success actually. They got quite a few more fans after this. And really, this is quite a heavy album, this, and one that is really enjoyable, and not really going to give anything away. There's a bit of a surprise turn on this album, so you need to listen to this right from start to finish to see what it actually is going on. It's kind of like a dare I say it, spoiler alert, a Final Destination type thing going on. So I'm not really going to go an awful lot more into detail about it, but I will say that this album really does kick ass. If you haven't listened to this, I highly recommend you listen to it if you haven't got it and are a Lordi fan. Now the next one is the more recent album up until the new album. They do have a new album coming out at the end of next month, so look out for that, guys. It's called Sexorcism. So yeah, so look out for that. I've not listened to anything on that. I've not heard much about it because obviously everything involving this band is shrouded in secret until the album actually gets released. They do not release anything until the album's release. No information whatsoever, absolutely nothing. There's no singles out yet. Nothing, not that I've seen. So the more recent one up until this new one is called Monsteriophonic, which is Theaterra versus I'll start that again. So the last album up until the release of Sexorcism is Monsteriophonic, Theaterra versus Demonicy, which is another really cool album. They really went all out on this one because it's split into two parts, obviously, with it being Theaterra versus Demonicy. The first 7 songs are your typical Lordi style music. But from track 8 up until track 14, they've gone on to sort of like go into a more sort of heavier tone, maybe to set up this new album that's coming out next month. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this album actually turns out like, because if it's anything like the last 7 songs on this album, I am going to be absolutely over the moon, because the latter half of this album is absolutely unbelievable. It's heavy, it's catchy, and it absolutely blew me away. But like I said, the first seven songs on this actually are your typical Lordi stuff. So yeah. I'm looking forward to this new album. Like I said, I went to see these lot last year, like I said earlier on in the video, and they were absolutely amazing. They deserve a bigger stage and a bigger audience. So like I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the description, I'm going to put the link to their channel in the box below. Make sure to check it out, guys. Absolutely awesome, they really are. I'll even put links to some of the hits and everything else and that. So yes, so I'm going to continue building these up, and then I'll finish up with a final look around to what it could possibly look like. And I'm just going to quickly show you, just get that out of the way, show you what I've done that way. There you can see it, just there. There's a lot, really think I'll just take that out. flip this round. So there you can see it, guys. That's what I've got done so far. It's not finished just yet. There's still a fair bit for me to do, but that's it right there. So yeah, so that's about it for this video, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you liked it, you can hit the like button. Subscribe if you like. Also make a comment in the bottom on anything that I've spoken about today, and thanks a lot for your time, and I'll see you.